For analysis on the FBI's decision and the political ramifications of all of this, we are now joined by Eleanor Clift. She's a correspondent for the Daily Beast. Well, Comey's an interesting guy. He stands out as an FBI director. He's 6'8", lifelong Republican. He's contributed to Romney and McCain. So if he says no prosecutor would take this case, that's not like a party hack saying it, and yet this isn't going to go away, is it?
No, the Republicans kind of drew blanks on Benghazi. They haven't been able to tie the tragedy there to wrongdoing by Hillary Clinton. And Republicans have talked about this as the FBI primary, as though, this were a contest, and if she lost, they win. So when you initially hear that he's not bringing any criminal indictments, you think, okay, this is a victory for Hillary Clinton, but not so fast. There was enough damaging rhetoric from the FBI director that Republicans are going to keep hammering away. But they have to be careful. They can't really impugn Mr. Comey because he really is a man of extraordinary intellect, independence. During the Bush administration, he stood up to the then Attorney General and to the White House. And if they go down the route of claiming this is some sort of rigged conspiracy, I think they will lose the confidence of the American people in that argument. It just doesn't hold water.
But you say rigged conspiracy, and yet it's pretty much what Trump said right off the bat, isn't it? I mean, he came out with a Twitter response almost immediately, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And I think that's overreaching. I mean, he has a good argument that she showed poor judgment. That poor judgment has now been confirmed by an FBI investigation. That should be enough. His insistence that this was somehow arranged between the White House and the Attorney General and the FBI director, he really is conspiracy-minded. And I think that people who are really staunch followers of Donald Trump are prone to believing this kind of stuff. But the broader electorate, I think, is going to look at his response and say, we got to have faith in somebody in government. If we can't believe in this FBI director who has, stood up for integrity and stood up against politicians in both parties, who can we believe in? It's overreach, and it's classic Donald Trump.
It actually also, in a sense, helps the Attorney General, Loretta Lynch. I just saw her in Aspen, and the question was, what were you thinking? Because she just met with Bill Clinton. The fact that he came out and said it kind of gives her a little bit of cover too, doesn't it?
Yes, and also this was all in train before that conversation, and the FBI had planned this Tuesday announcement for some time. And after Bill Clinton met with Loretta Lynch on the tarmac in Arizona, the FBI briefly considered postponing this Tuesday event because it did almost seem like it precipitated it. But I think once we look at the timeline of all of this, the FBI has done due diligence. Yes, there was sloppy handling of classified information, but it was not done knowingly. And if you start looking into everybody's email practices 8 years ago, when we were in the dawn of the email age, I think you're probably going to find more of this.
Well, I've got to ask you, we got about 30 seconds. She looked pretty buoyed today when she appeared with the U.S. President Barack Obama in North Carolina. What does this do for her and her campaign, do you think?
Well, this is the first time in some time that we've had a sitting president who was popular enough to be wanted out on the campaign trail. And for Barack Obama, this election is very personal. Donald Trump initiated sort of the birther campaign against him, questioning whether he was really born in America. And if Donald Trump is elected, a lot of what Barack Obama has fought for, could be overturned. So Hillary Clinton is his legacy, and she is not that dynamic in her own right, but Barack Obama still carries a certain amount of charisma in this country, a lot of charisma in this country, especially among Democrats, and she really has to rally that same coalition that elected him twice with over 50%, which no president had done, no Democratic president had done since Dwight Eisenhower or Jimmy Carter. And Carter only won once. So Dwight Eisenhower, going back a long time. And that same coalition has to turn out for Hillary Clinton if she wants to be the next president.
Well, Eleanor, it's always a delight to have you on the broadcast. Thanks so much for your insights.
Thank you.